Welcome to my videos. I will start using my voice for this and my future videos because it's easier for you to watch, most importantly, and for me easier to edit. And this way I hope you will enjoy my videos even more. So let's start off with my Nightmare Cup in Giessen, in my hometown. So my first opponent. What I saw was a pretty standard composition based around 2 psychics, 2 fightings and 2 darks. Darks being Redicate and Drapion, 2 very common dark types which I included in my team all myself, so yeah, I know those matchups quite well. Looking back, I focused too much on the Espion and the Lucario, although I got them covered with my team, and I don't know, I was too scared. And after watching the first match I should have adapted properly, but I didn't, and you will see the result of it. For his lineup I definitely brought my Toxicroak to cover his Alone Redicate and Drapion, because otherwise I would have had no real counter for those, especially Redicate. Without my Toxicroak, his Redicate could run wild on my team. I mean, I didn't expect anything coming in, and Spiritomb was quite safe against his team at my first thought. And also I brought Hypno. I just wasn't too impressed by my legacy Hypno. In the end I shouldn't have brought it anyways, since I wasn't confident in it. Coming in round 1, game 1, I started off with Spiritomb into his Alone Redicate, which was very bad. I had to switch or sacrifice my Spiritomb. I instead go for a switch, which wasn't bad at first, but I made it worse by shielding his first crunch, because I shouldn't have shielded anything. Just let my Hypno die with a shielded Focus Blast, and that should be it. But yeah, I made at least one mistake there. The first one by switching into Spiritomb, into Hypno, because I didn't want to sacrifice my Toxicroak against a Confusion user or Satu, and yeah, that was my mistake. My Hypno goes down with a Focus Blast as expected, but it didn't need that one shield. So now my third or second mistake was to not shield this Hyper Fang, because now his Satu comes in, just eats Mud Bomb, which was necessary to begin with. And yeah, I switched into Spiritomb to have a better matchup, but he just follows my switch with his Drapion and just eats my Spiritomb. He had a quite unexpected moveset, I would rather say, an unusual with Bite. But yeah, in the end it still beats Spiritomb. I mean, it's just faster than the usual one with Infestation. I shielded that because I knew he had Satu in the back and I needed to preserve my Spiritomb. My Toxicroak had no chance with so less energy and HP left, but yeah, unfortunately he had enough energy to finish off my Spiritomb and my Toxicroak there. So in game 2 I made some adjustments to his Double Dark and Satu team. I dished my Spiritomb and picked up a Satu, although I think that wasn't the right adjustment or approach to his team. I mean, I feared that he would bring one of his fighting types, so I didn't want to match his two dark types, but yeah, you never know. So yeah, I picked Satu, Toxicroak and Drapion, and this time I started off with my Drapion lead, expecting a psychic type to counter my obvious fighting type, my Toxicroak, into his Alone Eradicate. We see that I was right, and I got this matchup, Drapion against Satu. That should be pretty safe matchup. I mean, the most important thing is to shield his aerial ace. And here I shield bait him by doing an Aqua Tail instead of a Crunch. I charge up to my Crunch and do an Aqua Tail instead of a Crunch to preserve some energy. Here he shield baits myself by doing an Omnious Wind instead of an Area Ace, which costs a little bit more. And now I do my final Crunch and see what happens. He doesn't shield it and just dies off. Next comes his Alone Eradicate, and I just stay in there to not get trapped afterwards. So yeah, I just played it out. He continues to farm me while I doing as much damage as I can, but yeah, he has no shields left. Now I come in with my Toxicroak, just punch him down. He switches into his Toxicroak, and I follow his switch with my Satu, and yeah, just win this match with that. I mean, this could have been a Sludge Bomb, but I was safe anyway, so yeah, farm off his Toxicroak, since he didn't do his Sludge Bomb instead of his Mud Bomb. I mean, he probably just wanted to bait my shield, but yeah, I had Toxicroak in the back and he could handle Eradicate and this Toxicroak. So since the second game worked out for me, I continued with this lineup. I made switches in my lead. I used my Toxicroak as a lead this time, anticipating his Dark type from him, and I was right there. So I do my Mud Bomb, he switches into Satu, which was perfectly timed by him, but I follow him, switching into my Drapion myself, and trap him in this matchup. Here I shield his Aerial Ace, which wasn't wrong. I mean, I didn't knew what his team was, so here I do an Aqua Tail to bait his shield again. So the second time I do my Crunch again, and what will he do? He will shield this time. He uses his second shield. I don't shield this one, and I do, which was necessary. I think I should have switched into Satu myself here and preserve my shield, but okay. Now he comes in with his Drapion himself. I let his Bite Drapion feint my Drapion. He does an Aqua Tail now, which yeah, in the end I can shield anyways. I do my Mud Bomb, feint off his Drapion. And at this point my Toxicroak is so low, and what is his final Pokemon? His first lineup, Eradicate, Double Dark. And here I just think I have to get my Aerial Ace off to win this match. I can tank one Crunch, but it will be very, very close. And as you can see, it is very close. I nearly get to my Area Ace, and no, my Satu dies off and he wins this game. So coming in round 2, and at this point I will just face weaker opponents, and this particular trainer, no offense, was just there to have some fun. And those who are meta were Murkrow, Umbreon and Hypno, or Heracross, but yeah, that wasn't too much of a threat, his team of 6. So I just brought the same 3, but looking back, I don't know, I should have used Alolan Eradicate more. I don't know why I didn't use it. I was confident in using it. I felt like Drapion was more consistent for me, so I just continued to use it. But yeah, looking back, I should have used Eradicate against my first opponent and could have won with it to match his dark types. Coming in round 2, game 1, I started off with Toxicroak and I face an Umbreon, which was good. I stay in since he didn't bother to switch, so yeah, we fight it out. I do Mud Bomb to see if he shields or not, and he does not. I mean, yeah, why not? We fight it out. He doesn't charge move here, and I thought, yeah, I don't know, I could survive it, and I think I don't need my Toxicroak that much. I'm already happy with this matchup. He does another charge move. His first didn't do that much damage, so I don't shield the second one. So I switch into my Drapion. He still didn't bother to switch himself. We fight it out. I do an Aqua Tail to bait his shield out. And the second one is a crunch now. And he shielded that also, so yeah. Here I don't shield it, which was quite ballsy from me. I could have been Focus Blast and one-shot my Drapion, but okay. I mean, lucky me there. I could do my crunch, although Aqua Tail could have killed, faint his Hypno as well, so yeah, that was maybe a mistake there. But yeah, I could do an Aqua Tail on his on his Murkrow. I switch in my Toxicroak just to get it, just to let it fade against his Murkrow. So now he doesn't charge move. I use one of my 2 remaining shields, shield off his foul play, and feign it with my air slashes. So coming in game 2, I just used the same lineup and put in Drapion as a lead, expecting him to lead off with Hypno to counter my Toxicroak. And as we can see, it worked out for me. He did switch in his Hypno as a lead. We do the first crunch. He doesn't shield it, let it through, and yeah, that's a chunk of damage. So I do an Aqua Tail. He blocks it. I mean, I didn't bother to use anything else than Aqua Tail since he's so low and Aqua Tail could feign him. Here I just farm him for some energy since he just did his charge move, which I shielded, and I could use that energy to bait his last shield out, which I successfully did. And yeah, just here I just do as much damage as I can against his Murkrow here. And now, since he has no shields left, I just spam him with Aqua Tail and nearly feint him with my second one on his Murkrow. No, I do feint his. So in comes his Umbreon, I switch it into Toxicroak, and this game is done with that, with remaining shield for me. In round 3 we face off this opponent with a quite colorful team, with a 3 dark, 2 psychics and 1 fighting like mine. Definitely a Toxicroak for his team, because Toxicroak was pretty good against most of them, and yeah, just feared his Bronzong. I also brought my Eradicate, which I should have brought earlier to all the games, but okay, now I did. And also I didn't brought any psychic type, since yeah, Hypno wasn't I wasn't confident in my Hypno, and secondly I didn't want to bring my Satu against his Raichu. In game 2 I start off with Toxicroak into his Toxicroak, which was fine, I guess. Looking back, I didn't have any answers to Toxicroak outside of Toxicroak myself, so yeah, we fight it out, we shield both the charge moves. He does unexpectedly dynamic punches, so usually go for mud bombs, since those do quite good damage. So he fires off his second dynamic punch before I even get close to my third mud bomb, and before I do my mud bomb I even faint to his Toxicroak, and either my IVs on my Toxicroak are crap, which they are. I mean, I still have it and use it, but they are pretty crap. But now I'm forced to go with Trapeon and eat his next dynamic punch, and we faint at both at the same time. So I'm left off with Eradicate, who has to pretty much beat 2 at the same time. Not at the same time, but 2 back to back. So I do what I could do. I Hyper Fang it to bring it to low HP, and I expected him to have a Psychic type as the last Pokemon. So I opt to farm him, to farm some energy for his next Pokemon, since he did his Flamethrower just earlier. And yeah, I have a crunch ready for his Bronzong. I do it, and since I saved up so much energy, I can do my second crunch and win this game, which was very surprising with that start. In game 2 I swapped out my Drapion and switched in my Spiritomb to have an actual answer to Toxicroak. I also used my Spiritomb as a lead because it was quite safe, I would say, since after the first game I thought he might not use his Shift Tree. And he starts off with Bronzong facing my Spiritomb, which was good for me. He switches out into his Skunk Tank. I farm some excess energy, but yeah, I switched into my Toxicroak to soak his crunch, which worked out perfectly. And now I do a Mud Bomb to try to KO it. He does shield. I don't think he should have shielded there, but okay. We play it out. He tries to feint my Toxicroak with another crunch. I shielded. Okay, he doesn't flamethrower instead of crunch, but he should have crunched there. Would have definitely KO'd me there. So yeah, my second Mud Bomb feints it finally. He comes in back with a bronze song, which just one taps me, and I come back with my Spiritomb with an already charged up Omnious Wind. He does shield, which was good, fine by me. I go for another Omnious Wind before he even gets to his charge move. He probably wanted to flash cannon me, but unluckily I get to my second Omnious Wind. And now he comes in with a Toxicroak. With no shields, I have an advantage and can pretty much one-hit KO it with my Shadow Ball, and that's pretty much game 2. With that, I place second in this tournament.
Summer, it sounds good right now after what we just experienced, doesn't it? Grilling out, lawns being mowed, and pools opening. These are some of the things we expect with summer.